Good day, everyone. Today, I will be presenting phonetic and phonological data collection, a core methodological component of linguistic fieldwork. This is the first of three parts. This presentation focuses on how linguists systematically collect, record, and analyze speech sounds, particularly in underdocumented and Philippine language context. The emphasis of this session is not only theoretical understanding, but also practical field application, especially for students and beginning researchers. This presentation is organized into five major parts. First, I will discuss the step-by-step procedure for phonetic and phonological data collection using lexical and phonological instruments. Second, I will explain the standards and specifications for audio and video recording, including equipment considerations. Third, I will describe the actual data collection procedure during field execution. Fourth, I will introduce analytic templates for segmental assessment, focusing on vowels and consonants. And finally, I will show how we move from phonetic detail to phonological analysis. Slide 3. Step-by-step procedure for phonetic and phonological data collection. This slide introduces the overall step-by-step procedure used in phonetic and phonological data collection. The procedure relies on two main types of instruments: lexical instruments such as word lists and phonological instruments such as minimal pair test. These instruments allow us to move from raw speech to structured linguistic analysis in a systematic and replicable way. Stage 1. Pre-fieldwork preparation. This stage is often overlooked, but it is critical. Decisions made before entering the field directly affect the quality of phonetic recordings and the reliability of phonological analysis. At this stage, the researcher clarifies goals, scope, and methodological choices. Step 1. Define research scope and analytic goals. Step 1 focuses on defining the research scope and analytic goals. Before any data is collected, the researcher must clearly identify the target language or variety such as Tagalog, Central Bicol, or a Dumagat variety. The level of analysis, whether phonetic, phonological, or both. Phonetic analysis examines fine-grained articulatory and acoustic detail, while phonological analysis focuses on contrast, patterning, and distribution. This slide continues step 1 by specifying the intended output of the study. These outputs may include a segmental inventory of vowels and consonants, minimal pairs demonstrating phonemic contrast, phonotactic constraints, community-oriented materials such as primer or primers, or orthography input. The key point here is that analytic goals determine methodological choices, including the type of word list, recording quality, and elicitation strategy. After defining the research scope, we will move to stage 2, which involves the selection and design of instruments. Instruments are the tools used to elicit linguistic data. In phonetic and phonological fieldwork, poorly designed instruments lead to incomplete or misleading analysis. Step 2. Prepare lexical instruments. A lexical instrument, typically a word list, is designed to elicit specific speech sounds. A phonetic word list usually includes core vocabulary such as body parts and natural objects, culturally relevant items like tools, food, and local flora or fauna, words representing contrast, sensitive environments such as CV, CVC, and CCV structures. C means consonants and V refers to vowels. context-specific and sociolinguistic items. The goal is phonetic coverage, not lexical completeness. Step 2. Prepare lexical instrument. This slide highlights recommended sources and models for constructing lexical instruments. These include Adapted Swadesh Type List, SIL Phonological Word List, Philippine Comparative Word List developed by scholars such as Reed and Zork. Importantly, borrowings from contact languages like Spanish or English may be included deliberately, as they often reveal phonological adaptation patterns. Step 3 introduces phonological instruments, which differ from lexical instruments in purpose. While word lists show us what sounds occur, phonological instruments test contrast and distribution. These instruments typically include minimal pair lists, near minimal pairs, frame sentences used to control phonological environment. Phonological instruments are essential for identifying phonemes and allophones. This slide emphasizes that phonological instruments must be structured and controlled. Examples include placing target sounds in identical phonetic environments or manipulating affixation to observe alternations. The objective is to eliminate irrelevant variables so that sound contrast can be interpreted accurately. Speaker selection and ethics. After preparing instruments, we move to stage 3, which involves speaker selection and ethics. Linguistic data is produced by people, not abstract systems. Therefore, ethical considerations and informed speaker selection are integral to data quality and research integrity. In selecting speakers, researchers typically consider 1. Native or near native competence, 2. Regular use of the language, 3. Absence of speech or hearing impairment that may affect data, and you have to perform an oral screening. Ideally, phonetic data should be collected from more than one speaker, allowing the researcher to distinguish between individual variation and systematic patterns. In selecting language consultants, the best practice is you have to record at least 2 to 4 speakers, whether in male or female, and age variation. So gender and age variation. Clearly document speakers' metadata. The tip is recording speakers will depend on the location and certain conditions. I suggest that you refer to framework-free approach by Haskell Math, data-driven or corpus-driven. The final slide in this section addresses ethical considerations. Researchers must obtain informed consent and clearly explain the purpose of the recording, how the data will be stored and used, whether recordings may be shared or archived. Ethical phonetic fieldwork is grounded in respect, transparency, and accountability, particularly when working with indigenous or endangered language communities.